Connor, 2 days under the belt. First off, how's it feel to be back in training camp?
It's awesome. Definitely being with the boys is a good time. Always is. Glad this is the last ride. I'm ready for it.
You guys have a very experienced offensive line coming back. Does it feel like you guys are just picking up where you left off?
It does, but we still have some new guys. Dante had some starts last year, but he's going to play a lot more this year. I think we just have a good group of guys, so it doesn't really matter who we throw out there. We're going to do our thing.
Where do you see the strengths overall of this offensive line?
I think we've bonded a lot better this year. Just like it happens over time, you're going to come together. And I think we've done that. It's through the summer, through camp, it'll get better. It gets better through the season. So I think that just bonds tighter.
Guys, most of you have probably been here all summer long. How valuable has that been for you guys?
I mean, it's awesome. It's big time seeing the younger guys be here too. I mean, we have a lot of guys that go to 6 a.m., they go work 8 to 5, then we come do drills with us. It's just awesome to see that, like, we have 16 guys doing that every day for June and July when they could be doing a lot funner things.
And then when you look at the skill positions and how many guys are back from last year and the quality of the skill guys, how exciting is it to be a part of that offensive line?
It's awesome. I love seeing them score, and we love blocking for them.
What do you do during the summer? Everybody else talks about you. Oh, play 7-on-7. What do linemen do during the summer?
So usually we did a lot more extra work this year, I would say, but we'll do drills when they do 7-on. Our centers are always here to snap. I mean, we're just trying to put on weight, good weight, get stronger basically, and work together to kind of grow that relationship I talked about earlier.
Okay, Hayden, for you coming back for another year, how excited are you for this upcoming season?
Could not be more excited. You know, as I said, it's my 6th year. Every year, Coach Higgins tries to find a new way to get me out. I weasel my way back in, and here I am, and super excited.
What has you most excited about this football team right now?
Just all the talent we have and all the guys we have coming back. You know, we've got an all-conference QB throwing to all-conference receivers. We've got all-conference running backs running the ball behind an all-conference O-line. I mean, there's nothing more you could ask for other than that. I mean, it's just awesome.
Now, this is a question I'm going to ask some of the skill guys later on. When a play is called, what play is it that gets you maybe the most fired up?
Inside zone, into the red zone, or power. Coach Cash has drilled that into our brains. Run power often, RPO.
All right. Dante, back for another season. You gained some valuable playing experience. Does it feel second nature now to you?
Yeah, it does. It's really good. You know, that extra weight, extra strength too.
What has you most excited about this season?
We have a chance to win every single game we play, so we expect to win every single game.
I'll kind of ask you the same question that I just asked. Hey, when there's a play called, is there a play that just kind of you say, oh, I can't wait for this?
Just like Hayden, you know, Coach Cash put it in our brain, run power often, so whenever we run power, it's on.
For you, where do you feel like you've maybe made the most improvement?
My size. I think my size and my strength are going to help me a lot this year.
What have you done to get that size?
Gained a lot of weight, put on a lot of muscle too, so I'll be able to move people a lot better.
Is there any particular food you've done during that time to get you up there?
I ate a lot of cereal, so that's about it.
All right, Sherman, for you, as far as picking up plays and feeling comfortable out there, knowing what you're doing, where are you at on a 1 to 10 range?
I'd say with plays I'm pretty comfortable, probably closer to a 10. I mean, I played last year. I think where the most of the confidence comes from changing from last year is just more dominant, a little bigger, stuff like that, movements, different things. But mentally I'm feeling really good for sure.
How valuable was it for you to get the playing time you did last year?
It was everything. I mean, coming in the spring this year, it just felt completely different. Everything slowed way down. When you get all those reps against a lot of different teams, different looks, it just slows the game down a lot for you. So.
Just talk about, you know, it seems like there's more depth. There's a lot more guys here. How does that compare to last year?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, we got a lot of young guys. It looks like they're going to be really good for us. I mean, it feels good to have, because it's a physical position. If somebody goes down, it's always nice to know that you've got that next line up. Coach Cash always talks about we got to have somebody to replace it. You can't just fall off completely. So the expectation is that 2 deep, 3 deep, it's not a drop off at all. You've got to just keep rolling with whoever you got in there. So.
All right. Well, Coach Cashdollar, we just talked to a couple of guys who are back who gained some valuable playing experience. As you look at the offensive line as a whole, what kind of stands out? Is there one word or a phrase that kind of describes this group of players?
Consistency. I would say that's one of the biggest things and the biggest jumps for offensive linemen is just learning how to be not just consistent on the football field, but consistent in everything. You don't really pick and choose your habits. O-line's hard because you got 5 guys out there playing 80, 90, 100 snaps. And I feel like this group has been consistent in everything they do. They do a great job in the classroom. They did a great job this summer lifting weights, and I think that shows when you're playing. We don't have that up and down play a little bit like we used to. It's really smoothed out. They're doing a great job.
So overall, this offensive line, what's going to make or break it? What's going to be the telltale sign that these guys are getting it done?
I think 2 things. I think one is even though we do have some guys that have some experience coming back, is you can always take the next step. You know, are you going to go from being a solid starter in the MIAA to a potential all-conference player? Are you going to go from an all-conference player to being an all-region and all-American level player? And it's that constant pushing of each other, of me trying to push them to be the best that they can be. And I think that really helps going to the next level. And then finally, just keep continuing to develop quality depth. You know, as Sherman mentioned earlier, and you just can't have enough quality offensive linemen in the room, guys that you feel are game ready. A guy like Dante Smith-Posey is a great example. You know, he'd never started a game here, and then Xavier got injured, and he came in and played great against Pitt last year on the road. You know, and I think it just helped him transition confidence moving forward, just when you get out there and prove you can do it. So to be able to get through a season, 11 weeks, no bye week, you have to have a lot of depth on the offensive line.
Are you pleased with your depth?
We're working on it. You know, I mean, as an offensive line coach, you always, you know, you want to keep developing the entire room. I'm very happy with the numbers we have. We're at a healthy number now on the offensive line. Having 4 full offensive lines is huge because you can get work, but you're not going to wear guys out by having to double rep them all the time, and being able to split up drills and things like that. So we got to challenge each other. I always tell them in the room, you always got to challenge the guy in front of you as well as to challenge the guy that's inside of you, you know, and making sure that you're the best player you can be, which helps the team. And inherently on the O-line, it's always about the team. It's always about how good can we play as a group, because it all starts up front, and we don't really have a chance to win if we don't play well.
How do you balance building depth with building a cohesiveness among your 5 guys?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's something in spring ball, I tend to move them around a lot. You know, I'm going to move them from right tackle to right guard, or flip them sides and flip their stances and kind of make them a little uncomfortable. And then when you get to fall camp, you kind of want to settle them out a little bit. You want to, hey, you're going to be in a right-handed stance for the whole camp. You're going to be typically working with these 2 guys to try to build that continuity and reps.
All right, Coach, day 2, end of the belts. Anything special stand out about today's practice?
You know, as a whole, I thought our energy was good, you know, second day, which it should be with the veteran group. You know, I mean, I think we're playing with a lot of effort. I think right now, you know, we're out in our helmets, so some of the plays that you make might be a little bit limited. You got a quick whistle, you know. I mean, the guys up front are doing a good job as far as staying on their feet. It is a little bit different without shoulder pads on. Tomorrow we will have shoulder pads on, so I think usually on that day there's a little bit of separation as far as being able to really guys either separating themselves or being able to see like what units are doing a really good job. And and I wish I could kind of view everybody at all times, but you know, when you're coaching on the offensive side of the ball and you're coaching the quarterbacks and you play with the tempo that we play with, and you're really trying to focus in on playing with that fast tempo, that sometimes there may be guys doing a really good job, you just may not see them, and you really can't see those guys until you watch film.
On that particular line, are you pleased with where, especially the returners, let's first start with the guys that are coming back, are you pleased with where they're at as far as progression and being ready to play?
They're ready to play. I do feel good about that. I think we did not have a very clean practice today offensively from a standpoint of our skill positions. I felt like we missed some throws, had some guys open, and then we had the ball on the ground, not fumbles. I mean, we had another good day of ball security today, but I felt like we had some drops and the ball was on the ground a little bit too much. So as far as their execution of understanding what we're doing within our system, they're doing a great job. Now, executing that fully was not as clean today as I wished it would have been, especially when you have that many veterans on the offensive side of the ball.
What are the advantages of only doing one practice a day? You talked about needing to look at film. Does that help you by being able to have more time to look at film?
It does. It does help us be able to watch film a little bit more thoroughly. And then, as I've said, we're not in school right now, so there's things that they don't need to get handled in the afternoon. Now, the closer we get to school, they're going to have to make sure that, you know, they know where their classes are at, the freshmen, and we'll have an academic meeting and things like that. So right now, yes, we can focus as a staff, focus in on film watching. Back when we used to have 2-a-days, you were just, as soon as you set your practice schedule down from the morning, you had to get ready for the second practice. So you maybe would only get to watch about 45 minutes of film. So I really like how it's structured now. And plus our guys are here during the summer, so they're in shape. You don't necessarily have to have the 2-a-days anymore. And because our guys are conditioned, the guys that were here, you know, we had a lot of guys here, so they should be ready to go.
Just one real quick, we talked about offensive line today. Just what can you say about those guys?
What can I say about those guys? I think those guys got the potential, and I hate using that word, but, you know, they are what everybody likes watching the skill guys, especially in our offense, but it starts with those guys up front. And I think those guys do a great job. They are tough. They got a chance to be one of the best units that we've had here since I've been here. And I think they're coached really well. I think Coach Cashdollar does an excellent job with those guys. He makes my job easier, be able to focus solely on the skill guys, quarterbacks, and then be able to focus a little bit on the defensive side of the football. So those guys do a great job. You know, they're a tight unit, and that unit has to be tight because they take a lot of pride in that. And those guys, they do a good job, and they're ready to come to work each and every day.